It's always a better day when I see Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider for Yahoo Sports. Chris, we just stumbled upon something. We were talking during the commercial break. The greatest, how about most skilled duo of all time? Most skilled. Where would KD and Kyrie rank on your list?
That's a good question, DP, and thanks for having me back, man. We talking about the best skilled duo. It's hard to look anywhere else aside from KD and Kyrie, because those guys, when you talk about one-on-one isolation basketball, being able to get their own shot, create off the dribble, post, whatever, those two can do it all. So even if you're talking about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, I don't know, even LeBron, Kyrie, that duo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, skill, it would be hard for me to argue against KD and Kyrie.
What if, Curry and KD playing together at Golden State, Magic and Kareem from a skill position? No?
I'm still rocking with KD and Kyrie. I mean, Steph, as great as Steph is, like, he can't get his own basket like Kyrie can. So that's why when you talk about skill, and that's different. You're talking about what's the best duo, then we can have a different conversation. But when you're talking skill set, just pure putting the ball on the ground, being able to do whatever you want to do with it. Like, nobody can do what KD and Kyrie can do. But best duo, that's a different conversation.
Any problem with how Minnesota celebrated last night, beating the Clippers?
I was a little surprised, but then, you remember, they haven't been in the playoffs in a while. I forgot the drought that they broke getting to the postseason.
2004.
2004. So yeah, I'll give it to them. This is a relatively young team too. So I'll give them that. I don't think anybody expected Minnesota to make this leap this year. So I didn't really have a problem with it. I was surprised, but then Pat Bev going against his former team, he's going to bring all the antics and the emotions into the game. So it was fun. I'm looking forward to it. And actually, that's my assignment for TNT on the sidelines for the first round. I got that Minnesota-Memphis series.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
What's your assessment of Memphis?
They're a really fun team to watch. They play really hard. I had Ja Morant on my podcast a couple of days ago. It's going to drop sometime this week. But, it's a college atmosphere. That's the best way I would explain it. You see after the games when somebody will talk to the star player of that game, and then you see the whole team just huddle around and just celebrate. Like, it's a really tight-knit group, and they're fun to watch. And, Ja Morant, he's a rising star in his league. So I'm interested and looking forward to seeing if that style of play, what they've been able to do in the regular season, is going to be able to translate into the postseason. Ja says they're ready. So we'll see.
But they had a great record without Ja in the lineup. And I said, well, there's two ways to look at this, that maybe that'll hurt his MVP chances. But also, it should make you focus on the talent that Memphis has, because it's not just Ja Morant. And if you watch them, they have a deep team. Both ends, they play hard. And did you address the team's success without him in the lineup?
Yeah, he said they're a deep team. And he credited Desmond Baines, who he believes should win the Most Improved Player award. He also said he should be in the running as well, because I asked him about that. Like, does a star player, somebody who we consider to be a budding star, should they be in the running for Most Improved? He said, yeah, because I feel like I did improve from last year. But he said he gives that honor to Desmond Baines. But look, Dillon Brooks, one of the best two-way players we have in this game, who has an edge. And I'm looking forward to seeing Dillon Brooks, Patrick Beverley, because I think it's going to be a point or two where those two are going to get into it. But it's a deep team, and not a lot of household names, but they're really well coached by Coach Jenkins. And so I'm like I said, I'm interested in seeing if they have that poise. They have that poise, because that's what's going to get you through come playoff time.
Talking to Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider, Yahoo Sports. He is a sideline reporter for TNT as well. Where do the Lakers go from here, starting with the coach that they bring in?
DP, that's a good question. Obviously, Rob Pelinka said in the exit interview that they want a coach that has a voice, meaning they want somebody who's going to command the respect of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And I've been covering LeBron James for nearly a decade. I was the beat writer in Cleveland when he was there. And I remember when they hired David Black. David Black came with all these accolades over there overseas, and he felt like that would translate over here as far as respect. And I saw the way LeBron looked at David Black and how he was treated with that team. So it's going to take a figure like that who has some cachet. Now, who's out there? I think it ultimately is going to depend, DP, on some of the teams that still left. What do they do? Meaning Philadelphia 76ers. Do they sputter in the playoffs? And if they do, is Doc Rivers' job on the line? Same situation with the Utah Jazz, Quinn Snyder. So it's going to take, I think they're going to have to wait until the field plays itself out to see ultimately the candidates that they really do have. And then somebody, I got to throw in Mark Jackson. I think he deserves a shot. I think he'll be somebody that'll be looked at and evaluated. Also, somebody they can look at in-house, Phil Handy, who is, people look at him as one of the best or arguably the best skill development coach, but he wants to be a head coach in this league. He's somebody who I've seen go at, cuss out LeBron James, Anthony Davis. He has the respect of that group, that duo. So, they can go a multitude of ways, but ultimately, man, it's going to take somebody that has cachet from day one because they're trying to win championship now.
But when is LeBron respected as coach?
He's DP, don't throw that out there, DP. Don't do that. He's respected his coach. Look, he respected Ty Lue for sure. And if we want to look at some blunders, we could talk about blunders that the Lakers made this past offseason. Well, let's talk about the blunder in not bringing over Ty Lue, because that would have been the ultimate guy, the ultimate candidate. They tried to hire Ty Lue, but they wanted to give him the same contract as Luke Walton. Well, Ty Lue is a championship coach. You can't do that. That's disrespectful. And they didn't allow Tyronn Lue to hire his full staff, which is a no-no when you're trying to bring in a top-level coach. And so we see what Ty Lue is doing with the Clippers. So that would have been the prime target right there, but they messed that up.
I love Monty Williams. I think that, when coaches turn down the Lakers, that to me is interesting. And, you're going to walk into year 20 for LeBron. You got Russell Westbrook, and you're not sure what you have with Anthony Davis, kind of night in, night out, week in, week out, month in, month out. How attractive is that Laker job?
Well, I would say this. Obviously, it's a prime situation for any coach to take over. But Monty Williams ain't taking that job. There's too much going on right now. And I know the Lakers want to dismiss these past couple of weeks how things were handled, how Frank Vogel was, initially fired on Twitter before he got the official word. So nobody wants to go into that situation. Nobody was dying to get into that situation. But it is a prime destination with marquee players. And so with that being said, Monty Williams, I don't see that at all. I think that would be a pipe dream. But there will be suitors right there. And you mentioned Russell Westbrook. VP, I don't know if you've seen his exit interview, but he went in choosing violence. He set the place on fire before he walked out. You see those.
He's in denial, Chris. He's in denial.
That may be the case, DP, but he was like, I'm going to go out in denial.
But
and
Chris, he said, hey, I didn't get a chance to really be myself there. He played in more games, played in more minutes than anybody on the Lakers team. What did you want to show us besides air balls and turnovers? Come on.
DP, I'm not condoning what he said. I'm not approving it. All I'm saying is he went in there with an agenda that I'm setting the place on fire and I'm walking away. You see those movie scenes where you set something on fire and you kind of walk away in slow-mo with the ashes and everything in the back. That's what Russ did.
Yeah, but where's he going, though? Chris, he's not going anywhere, is he? Well, look, I can't see a scenario. He's going to opt in for $47 million.
And then the Lakers have a big decision to make. Do you trade him, which you will be able to do so? You might not get the best deal back in return, but you can trade him. Also, they still have that stretch provision where they can waive and stretch his salary over a period of years. So they have options. Look, we didn't think Russ was coming back even before that exit interview.
Yeah.
Now that he lit the place on fire, come on now. Just don't see it happen.
Yeah, but it was really about him and Frank Vogel not connecting. And I'm sure Vogel didn't want Russell Westbrook, but he had to take him because, see, I just don't know how much power LeBron has. He either has a lot or he doesn't have any, because he's being portrayed as, well, he wanted Russ, and they decided to bring in Russ. If he wanted Ty Lue, then they should have gotten Ty Lue for him.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But what I kind of disagree with you, or partially disagree with you on DP, is that it was a Frank Vogel thing. Because I think if you look at his responses, his answer, I'm talking about Westbrook, like people say, he didn't take accountability. He was still like, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my problem. And so if you still have that mindset, that's going to carry on with any other coach, because you're still going to, if he comes back, he's still going to be the third option, and he just did not perform well. So I think it goes deeper than him and Frank Vogel. I think him going on there saying that, look, I didn't have a fair chance, I wasn't able to be myself, I think that's a deeper issue than the Frank Vogel issue.
Well, I don't know if the media said, well, what is yourself? Is it the guy who was in Washington with the Wizards? Is it the guy who was in Houston? Is it the guy who still thinks he can play like he did in Oklahoma City? That's why I think Russ is in denial. He's 34. He's not going to change. And it's not like Kevin Love with the Cavaliers as the third person, or Chris Bosh with the Heat as the third person. I don't think Russ goes, yeah, I'm the third person. I don't think he plays that way.
Yeah, I think what he wants is to have control of the ball. He wants to be able to play himself, which means like get the rebound, go up and make a play, make plays happen. Now, the problem with that is if you look at the first couple of months of the season, they kind of allowed Russ to try to play his way, but the turnovers kept mounting. And, we saw the shot selections, and then he started getting taken off the ball. And so that's when things kind of went sour right there. So they tried it. I don't think Russ felt like they gave it a long enough shot.
Talking to Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider for Yahoo Sports. Steph Curry, good to go?
I think he'll give it a go, DP. I think he'll give it a go. He's been progressing well. I talked to people with the Warriors. They've liked how he looked up to this point. Hasn't done anything rigorous, but he's going. It'll be hard for me to imagine game one him not suiting up for the Warriors in the playoffs. I think he'll be able to go.
And Luka with a calf muscle is a little tricky.
Yeah, that's a little trickier right there. Obviously, I can't get a good read on that. There's people in the organization that don't have a good read on that. So it's really going to be probably a game time decision with him.
Always great to talk to you, Chris. Have fun in the playoffs.
DP, you take care, brother.
That's Chris Haynes.